I had to find my shoes. I didn't know where I put them. We are good now though. Alrighty, hump day ride. Join event, let's do it. And here we are, 10 minutes to spare. Happy days. Okay, rock and roll. What haven't I got set up? Heart rate strap. Let's make sure that is sorted. Heart rate A. Haha, good. Done. And Dwayne, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. I'm good. I didn't think I was going to make this one on time. Okay, one thing I've done, I've got red and orange, so apologies for the colour mismatch. But we are here. We are good. On the Kicker Core tonight, playing around with the Kicker Core firmware 1.0.10, which is out on iOS, but it's not out on Android yet, from what I can tell. Just looking at the sprint tests on that, well, the hard accelerations, which was a problem with the Kicker Core when it was first released a while back. So that's all looking good. Sprints still a little bit shaky, I think. I'll dive into it later on in another video, but it's not overshooting in the sprints. Undershooting by a little bit. But sprints are hard because sprints are hard. If you want true sprint power indoors, grab yourself a power meter. A good power meter. What was I up to? Checking the firmware on the... Well, let's do it here while we wait. Wahoo app. Andy J, thoughts on power heart rate not showing in the pen? Hello, this is new. Let me have a look. Okay, so they've removed the HUD whilst you're in the pen. Interesting one. Can you press G? So you can't press G either and get your graph down the bottom. It tidies things up for broadcast, but that's no good for end users. I want to warm up in here. If it's a race, you sort of want to hit those targets. That's only going to drive people to start using third-party head unit, your Wahoos or your Garmin Edge units indoors. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. For broadcasts, sure, but that should have option turned off. There we go. Oh, power-ups turned off in game there by... Anyway, so the HUD stuff, interesting. No idea. Not a fan. Back to the... what's on screen here, which is the sensors. We'll go have a look at the Kicker Core. I'm paired over Ant Plus to Zwift, so this should pick up over Bluetooth. I'm not sure that's the same one. Possibly not. Add new sensor. This is the new... As always, user error. See what I did? Can't escape it. There we go, connected. I'm trying to turn everything off in this room so there's no interference, nothing at all, just pure clean air. But yeah, that's what happens there. See down the bottom there, 1.0.10, which is the latest. Erg smoothing off. I don't need to do a spin down. This Kicker Core did a spin down the other day, and this and the Asioma Duos are like that. Really, really good. I went up the Volcano this morning and it was 325 versus 324 watts. So can't complain with that at all. That's really, really good. Quite surprising how accurate that is given it's a belt driven trainer, but all is well. Cool, that's it. We shall nuke that app away. Get back there. We'll get back to this one. You can use Companion app for wattage, etc. That's a very good point. But not everybody uses the Companion app, and forcing people to use a few $100 device, maybe even $1,000 device to do just that. It's a good solution if you're using it anyway. but to have it on screen and then not, that's kind of weird. I'd rather be on Instagram. I have 2 phones. This is my old phone, that's why I'm using it here. And it looks kind of neat. What's the difference between a kicker and a kicker core? Okay, kicker 1, 2, and 3. It's kicker 14, kicker 16, kicker 17, and core all pretty much have the same flywheel. So the flywheel that you see in grey, there with the chevrons in it, it's all pretty much the same size. The kicker core is slightly smaller, just ever so slightly, but call it 1 for 1. The legs, I'm not comparing to the 18, the 18 is different again. The legs are different on the core, you can see the core below there, it's non-adjustable in height, but again, doesn't really matter. And the kicker core and kicker, yeah, the kicker core is quiet. There's through axle support, yes, no, and a few of them, etc. I could go into full detail, but I'll keep it light on. The kicker core is effectively a quiet kicker 17. But then the kicker 18 comes along and steps it up with a bigger flywheel and is quiet, just like the core. One goes clunk and the other goes ping ping, says DC Rainmaker. He's got it, there it is. And only ever return 3. If people are saying they've returned 7 or returned 4 or 5, can we stick with 3? Can we all agree 3 strikes and you're out for any company? Any company. Keep it to 3. Keep it to 3. Give the company 3 times to fix something. On the 4th, go somewhere else. Any brand. That keeps them honest. Keeps them honest. Do I think Di2 is worth the money? Absolutely. And if you can get it on a bike, hell yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love Di2. I wanted to hate it for so long. I didn't want it for so long because of all the issues that I came up with. They didn't exist. They were fine. Well, they're still there. I've got to be careful with ripping cables in and out and the rear derailleur, piggy tail and things. And you saw the video that I did with packing a bike. It's a little bit different, but it's all good. Alrighty. So YouTube have another 2 strikes. I have no control over YouTube. It only works when you're in control. YouTube are in full control here. Have I balanced my wheels on my newish Giant? No, they were pretty good. Nothing like the Roval wheels I showed with Von's video years back now, and a few other other wheel sets that really shook the bike. When you really spin it up in the 5311, the bike really shakes. Didn't happen. Also harder to do with tubeless sealant. Tubeless? Yes, tubeless sealant. It's always going to be a little imbalance after a while once those little snot rockets start to form inside the tyre. But I won't start talking tubeless. I've got to get back to my GP5000s. I'm still running one GP5000. What are they talking about here in chat? So I've got to pay more focus to the in-game chat here. This is the ride that I'm on. I'll try and do both, the chat up here and the chat in-game. Di2 for the week? Yeah, Di2 is fine. It's just the crisp gear changes once they're set up and once you've got it right. Hang on, let me... Yeah, there we go. Okay, once you've got that right, it's good. It's one of those things where once you have it and you go back the other way, you're like, oh, what? Like the kicker climb, every time I put that on and take it away, I'm like, oh, I want it back. Someone said the same with the headwind fan, which I don't use during live streams because it vibrates the whole table. I didn't like the price of the kicker headwind. Fair call, it is expensive, but they like it now. My take on the recent Rome mount issues, I didn't encounter them myself. I had a different mount sent. That sucks for Wahoo, they've fixed it. So let's see how the new ones go. And we're away. But it was good they weren't shipping They didn't continue to ship. They actually fixed the problem straight away. Rather than wait for the problem to occur, they resolved it. So we'll see how that goes for them. Okay. Let me just get the legs spinning again. Second session for today. Jumped on earlier today. Did one of the volcano loops. Just to wake the legs up and finally do a session in the morning. I've got to do that more often. Okay, questions. What are people's thoughts on you only need one racing bike movement? A flattish bike that can take wider clearance? Not if you do time trials. There are bikes out there that are becoming jack of all trades. The open upper that Slane has. There's a few others I think coming along. But you'll never take a cross bike in a time trial and do well. Not at the pointy end. Or maybe you will. Sometimes it's better to have more stuff. Sir Fluffy a lot having issues with erg mode. The companion app and Android phone. One for Zwift support. Not sure. I try and steer clear of Android for most tech things. I have an Android phone, but it just doubles the amount of things I've got to check and play around with. For example, the firmware for the Kicker Core wasn't updated on the Android app. iOS tends to get looked after first. Do we think Canyon will update their Aero Road frame soon? No idea. Not much in touch with Canyon and what they're up to. We throw a stone every now and then at their trainer policy, which does need addressing pretty soon. I think the bigger question is, will they update their frames and certify them for usage on indoor trainers? That'd be a bigger move than shaving off a gram here or there of the frame or anything else. Supporting users using their bikes would be a better move, I think, than telling them what they can't do. It's got to move forward. That's got to move forward. It's beyond a joke that it's taken them years, and they've been sitting on that policy for years. And it's not just Canyon; it's every other bike company. But it's something that gets thrown around every couple of months, not acted on, and everyone goes quiet. Because it's only the users that are bitching and moaning. It's up to the software companies to put pressure on the trainer companies. Software companies to put pressure on the bike companies. Also the trainer companies. Because you can't have your cake and eat it too, and then tell everyone else you can't have cake. That's not fair. Massive split in the bunch there if you have a look up the road. This course is a little different than the standard flat stuff. Certified for Zwift. Sorry, I'm not sure if I've missed that in the comments. I'd say certified for trainer use. Take Zwift out of the picture, could be anything. Could be Sufferfest, Trainer Road, Ruby. Could be even CV Arcade. They all come under the same umbrella. I was going to say banner. I need a reboot. Alright, where are we in terms of... Yeah, I haven't done a hump day ride on the New York course. Let me know your thoughts on the New York course. It came out with a bang and then kind of fizzled, I think. It was new and cool at the start. No. I'm always on Watopia. Old Town Road's pretty cool with the desert. Someone teasing us that it was 24 in Sydney today. Ha! It rained non-stop here today. Zwift fence. Did I see the Zwift fence released a couple of weeks back? But only on certain courses, or... I'm not sure. I thought I saw something about the Zwift fence being out. Any SRAM riders? No, they're off the back. Their chain's fallen off. Kidding. Who was it? Was it Trek Sigafredo having problems with... I don't want to dump on product, but we'll talk about tech. Richie having gear problems a couple of months back. And then one of the Trek riders the other week speaking colourful words of his group set. But look, anything can break. I'll give it that. Andy's into New York. I think the graphics, dare I say it, kind of ruin it with the trees. There's too many leaves. It's all a bit rough. At least it's a bit of a roller coaster course. Alright, Paul Vanderplog. Hey! I'm missing that in-game chat. Least favourite course, New York. Yeah, there we go. Which is funny. Things come in and out of fashion. When it was released, it was pretty cool. It was something new. But then it kind of wore off a bit. This really is a roller coaster for the hump day ride, this course. It's going up and down. I think Martopia still has it, just the variation of rides on there. Flanders style course, now we're talking. But we're getting told we're going to drop back a bit. Alrighty. Yeah, something with a few real epic bergs where everyone slows down to 4 kilometers an hour. Elevation indoors on this course, yep, we will. Oh, the downhills are good. That just spins right out, no problems. Cool. Zwift to do mini Grand Tours eventually. Scaled down stages run same time as the Grand Tours, yeah, for sure. Imagine doing the last 30 Ks of every Grand Tour. It'd be nice if they could spin up courses just for the day and not have them hang around, just create them. We can all ride them for the day and they can just disappear. Last 30 Ks of every course, we could sit there and watch the pros. So we have to do a track series, a track as in a velodrome track. I think they'll need steering before we get a velodrome. Because velodrome without steering, that's one of the big things with the velodrome is using the banking to your advantage. And working paceline turns. Man, look at all the people here. 311. Good show. Yeah, velodrome with the correct implementation. And it has to be steering, because if you can't swing off the front and do a turn, then swing back down, it's going to be pretty weird. With the velodrome, if you're doing a team's pursuit, depending on the group you're with, but you don't have to back off the pace a lot. You just go up the bank and ride further. Everyone rides shorter. You keep it the same nice, smooth pace. Then you sit down on the back wheel and keep going. If you didn't have steering, that would be really hard to get the feel. Something Zwift doesn't have, no indoor software has, is that feel of being in a pack. And they're drafting and jumping on the wheel, sitting in the right spot. Boom, what is this, 8%? Oh, everyone's out of the saddle. Phil Guyman's trying to be a trackie. Yeah, look, he's not the beefiest of dudes, but there are a ton of events on the track that don't require beef. Bobridge, Meyer, but even Wiggo on the track. Wiggo's no sprinter. But once you get that motor revved up, you're good. So, yeah, Guyman on the track will do all right. Not in the kilo. Maybe in the 4K or the 3K or whatever he's targeting. Stephen mentions that would rather implement wind, direction and resistance before steering. I don't think you can have one without the other. If you put wind in the game, so for example crosswinds, how do you position it? And then everything comes down to positioning. You want to be in echelons. Automatic echelons would be frustrating. I think as soon as they've got steering, they could then do wind. Because right now, if the wind's coming from the left, technically I'm putting out more watts. But I can't get to the right to get into the protected side. It's just the computer deciding where I am. Having said that, I'm now just sitting in the middle of the bunch. Thanks, Siri. It's listening. 10-minute lapser. He did a 4:30 straight out of the box the other day. Guyman on the track. Okay, cool. That's hooking. Well, that's 38. I'm a little bit too far forward. I'll pull back a little bit. Do I think there'll be a new Phoenix 5 out soon? Or should I go for the 945? Ask Simon. I'm not too much across the watches. Raise the man for that one. I have the 935 at the moment as my everyday. And I do have the 945 in a box to switch over to. Easy on the front, where am I? 64th. Late joins re-enabled. Woohoo, this week, that's a good thing. 3:14 on. If you have any questions, fire away in the chat there. I've got the chat rolling away. Any questions about videos I've done or am doing or posts you've seen, fire away. Oh, and if you saw the post last night on, where do we put that up? Facebook and Twitter. The DCR Summer Open Cave, early or mid-July. Keep an eye on that. Von and I are heading back over, and so Von, myself, Des, Ray will be hanging out in Amsterdam and beyond. Should be good. Should be really good. If you can't make it, don't worry. We'll be putting a heap of stuff up online. Do a few podcast recordings, videos, etc. Keith Anderson, thanks for your thoughts on the Wahoo Bolt. My wife bought one and it's fab. Excellent, excellent. Keith, what was the fab part? Was it because it was easy to set up and it just works? Let us know. It's Emma Fowler. Emma Flower. That's it, Emma Flower. How are we doing, Em? One of the top rated female cyclists in Queensland. Ray's party time, Von. This time, sans clean up. Last time we flew into Amsterdam, we went to cleaning mode. It was good though. Our jet lag was promptly taken care of by scrubbing. It came up nice. Everything came up really nice. Now I'm making stuff up. Come on, Emma Flower. We all follow your Instagram. Get the fire hose. We're just going to wash the place out this time. That's the way to do it. How far am I ahead? 16. Okay, we're good. We're good. Em, you've won bike races before. Em, what title did you hold? Do you hold any state titles or state podiums? Let us know. You so do. Emma can ride bikes. By the way, her name's Emily. Everyone mistakes it for Emma. And let us know your Instagram account too, Em. Throw it up. People can follow along. It's good stuff. You're out. Is it 5:30 every morning? I don't know how you do that. Third in the state road race. There you go. That takes hard work. There you go, everyone. Follow Em. Instagram. 3:45 a.m. every morning. Whew. That's good. That's also Brisbane time, so it's a little warmer. This course is a bit more of a workout than the others, I've got to say. I'm changing gears and sweating a little bit more than normal. The bunch are staying together pretty well around this area though. Yeah, New York is hard work. It's hard work for the GPU in this computer as well. I can hear it whirring away. There's a lot of graphics going on. There's a good suggestion. Get rid of in the group rides, get rid of everybody else's status and look for just the ride leader. I'm all for that. I like that idea. Whilst I drop a feather power up on the downhill. See, that's shame right there. I need the live weight to go downhill. I should have just ditched that one. Alrighty. Hovering at 109th. Where's Tim the Bacon? He's just behind us. Now it looks like there's not a lot of people behind us, but that's the redraw. I think Zwift only puts 100 riders on the screen at once. Which I'd wish it was everyone. But so there's Bacon hanging at the back there, but he'll have people all around him. Because there's another 200 people behind me. That's huge. I should go for the National Zwift title this time around. Nah, not a chance. I did okay in Zwift races before everyone else came along. It's like real estate, I got in early. Then I got out when the big players came. The Favero Asio Maduro is still a solid purchase. Lee Patterson's. Yeah, they are. Now, not because I want to spruik them and tell everyone to go buy them. I can't find a reason to tell you not to buy them. They've continually proved themselves for me, but take me out of the picture, read everyone else's comments and reviews. Same story. So, they're onto a winner. Having some issues with one of the first stops in a sprint though. One pedal reads low, but indoors sprinting's kind of weird. The left or the right goes to 95 watts instead of 400 and something. But that's the only thing I can think of with the Hasiomis, but that's, yeah. And they're cheaper than most other pedals. So, power pedals that is. Alright, good night Emma. Say good day to your dogs too. Em's dogs recently always feature and recently featured not coming inside at night. I saw it just before Em. go win. I'm not going to go win this. We're lucky to finish with the... how much? It's 10 minutes a lap, so... just trying to calculate the Pac-Man. I believe it's 7 or 8 minute Pac-Man. Keeping up with the gram. I'm all over it. Chris Holton, have the Asiomas. The only issue he's had is a couple of times the right pedal suffers battery drain. Yes. I've had that happen once. I have a firmware update since then. Hasn't happened since. The only thing I can think of why that would take place is if something connects to it over Bluetooth and that connection remains open and the pedal doesn't go to sleep. So if you're using Zwift Android, not to point the finger at Android, or Zwift on iOS, maybe Apple TV, I'm just spitballing ideas here, could be anything. Maybe something has connected via Bluetooth, didn't let that connection go, pedal doesn't go to sleep, pedal drains. Or it could be the pedal not going to sleep. Our new firmware update should be out soon for the Asiomas. They've said soon for a long time on the cycling dynamics. Midday in Belgium. Ha! We shall be. Are we going to Belgium? If anybody in the crew's in the chat, Von, Des will be sleeping. I think we are going to Belgium. There we go, confirmation. Looking forward to it, should be good. Double confirmation. Oh, stages 1 and 2 of the tour. There we have it. I know Ray sent through a whole list of things we're doing, but I skimmed it and gave it to the boss. And there we go, Brussels for the TDF. Brilliant. Which reminds me, I should check to see if I've got ACL accreditation. I've signed up, but they haven't approved my company. It's kind of awkward. If not, we'll go there as a fan. Alright, where am I? Too far forward? 58, yep. Chris closes the laps, etc. Android, yeah, okay. Where are we on course? This is flying. There we go, big ring, which is going to be a bit noisier. Better back it up a bit, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. There's my mechanic. Not doing a good job. Alexander, thanks man. That's Von's hard work. Alrighty. If you give a ride on with the app, it'll come up on screen there. Might be a 10 to 15 second delay. In person though, that delay is really short nowadays. .47, 36 meters. Okay, still doing all right. Now we're on the hills again. Boom. No head units collecting data for this ride, none at all. First time in a long time. Just the trainer. Just riding bikes. Which also stops me from trying to test things like doing sprints and overs and unders and things. Patrick Barker needed new wheels, bought a new power tap wheels. Old tech seems to go cheap now, yeah. You get a good deal on some power tap hubs, or hub. Then snap the tendon above your kneecap. Oof. How does one snap a tendon above a kneecap? Crash? Carrying groceries? Knowing my luck, that's how I'd do it. Thunderstorm, here we go. Alrighty, this week's thunderstorm. We can't do it with the app. Here we go. Let me get in on the action here. This is where we just thumbs everyone. Moto Man, you can ride. Seen that name a number of times. How cool is this? I go to... Oh, it changes the... I was trying to give everyone this view of the thumbs falling out. It's pretty cool. When I click on someone else, that looks pretty cool. I go full screen on that one. Oh, dodgy dealings in the park. There we go, back to us. Zwift should change the thumbs to magpies in September. Oh god. Last time I came back from... It was from Eurobike. The magpies are in full effect here in Victoria. So I put 3 cameras facing backwards to capture the magpies attacking. There's a bird that swoop down and will hit your helmet. They will fully crash into your helmet. Claws out, and they'll snap their beaks to scare you. So I had a camera on the seat. I had the GoPro chest mount on my back, facing backwards, and on the back of my helmet. Got some really cool shots. And I had some really good hits on the back of the head. But I put those up on Shutterstock. Somebody, oh look out, level 40. Bam. I put 2 or 3 shots of those up on Shutterstock and I've made I think $7 from people buying my magpie photos. I need to go out there with the Hero 7 Black in 60 frames. Full 4K. What a noob, absolutely. Back to me on the phone. Yeah, I've done... How many Ks have I done on Zwift? What have I done? 25,600 Ks. I'm only level 40. That's a timing thing, because they brought everyone back with the level 50 release. And then summer started, so I haven't been on here as much. We'll get there. I'm still on the accelerated path, which throws a few people off on some of my videos. If I'm riding along and it keeps plussing 160 at the top, it's a bit off. I'm still on acceleration through to level 50. I'd hate to be stepping into Zwift now, new. There's so many of those little things you have to get across. If only there was a YouTube channel with all those little tips. I'll start one. But even then, the Zwift tips, they're not organised or sequential. So you have to know what you're looking for to find the answer, which kind of stuffs things up a bit. Oh, Von's mentioning the meme for the level 40 kit. It's so ugly. Oh god. Do I have to make when I rode 25,000 virtual Ks for this? brown AG2R style kit. No, what was the is it Fuji Civetto a few years back? Does anybody remember the old Fuji kit? The real brown one with the foot or the hand or something. What's the best way to level up if you're a real noob? Ride. Group rides probably best. Okay, where's the bacon? He's ahead. Ooh. It's me dropping a power up on the wrong screen. There we go. Yeah, so Michael, if you want to level up, distance, workouts up the Alp will get you a lot of drops. But then there's the... I thought they were going to get rid of the levels and the leveling up once drops were up. But now we've got drops and levels and level unlocks plus drops to buy things that lock unlevel. I'm confused. It's a bit hard. I'm not a gamer. Not anymore. I gave up with Quake 3. Yeah, plus bonus XPs for workouts. Zwift Insider has a lot of it documented, but even then you've still got to know what to look for to be able to answer the question. It's a bit hard. I think the best thing, just jump in to just bunch rides. Yeah, this is a fair workout. There go some cars. They've got cars on this course now. Really? Right there and there. Can I... Whoa! There we go. Gee, they're looking pretty... I see Zwifts at E3 this week. The largest computer game convention in the world, or show. Hopefully we'll get some car tips from GTA or something. Those cars are looking pretty horrible. Oh man, what is that? Come on, Gears, you can do it. Here we go. Alright, what are we? 4 of 6, half done, 15k to go. 32 minutes, yeah, could be about the hour. Just not the microwave on. Because our microwave oven is just the other side of this wall. And microwave ovens operate on 2.4 gig, just like Ant Plus. Alrighty. Dangling a bit off the back here, 200th place. We'll get up to the bacon. Any big announcements expected from Zwift? No, I don't. I don't know, I was a bit confused. My feed today on Twitter was full of Fortnite, Sonic the Hedgehog, and E3 stuff, which I follow other accounts for that, not my training platform. I think that was a strategic move by Zwift to show that they're a game, therefore relevant in esports in that realm. I think the target demo for Zwift is not the E3 person. I think a lot of other people will be confused by today's post. That's my take on things. I think it was a business play, just to position themselves in the esport arena. I think they can stand on their own 2 feet in the esport arena without a problem. It was just a bit weird. Have we dropped Monsieur Lama? Yeah, right. I'm here. I'm just working my way back. %. Oof. Steve asked if Zwift are going to be touring Zwift Oz this year. They were in Melbourne recently. I believe so. They've toured New Zealand. Well, they've done a couple of events in New Zealand. One in Melbourne the other night. I'm not sure. Jump up in the Zwift Oz Facebook group and just post up there asking if they've got any schedule to release. If they are in other cities, I'll try and make it along. But yeah, it's a little later, I guess, in the season this year. Typically it was a March thing, wasn't it, or an April thing. They did Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and I think Auckland. They've done Auckland already. But Zwift Oz is a place to ping the Zwift people on that one. Yeah, good call, Andy. I think of myself as a gamer. Sorry, I don't think of myself as a gamer, but as a cyclist training indoors. That's the hard balance with this. For me, it's a training platform delivered with the computer game. So there's elements of both, but we haven't seen a move either way to become truly gamified or to become a true hardcore training platform. It's become more of a racing platform, which is cool, but we still don't really know. Could they be everything about all of the above? I don't know. There are a lot of crashes in the Zwift at Von also experienced it. That was me. I was playing around with my Alienware Alphas. It's the other machine I've got here on the streaming setup actually. It locks up for about 15 seconds every now and then. So I'll wear the pain for that one. I have another Alienware to swap out. I should be able to swap the hard drives over. It's the same chassis. But again, if it's crashing, it's crashing. If you're not familiar with Ray's post yesterday on the Garmin issues, have a read of that, have a slow, careful read of that. It's really good, discussing just the general state of things with all things Garmin. And it's critical, but it also just tells it like it is for everyone's experience that we've had. But also addresses things such as, is it a user issue? Has it been fixed in firmware if you're encountering problems this is, or is it a company issue? So the three main things. And Ray went hard on the third. The things the company can do to really smooth out the process of using their devices and stability and etc. I think this week on the podcast we might go hard on parts 1 and 2 of that, because it's something we do all the time. What are we doing that's wrong? What are we screwing up? Because a lot of the time the problem is between our heads and our devices. They're understanding how they work or not setting things up, or that's what a lot of our time is spent doing. So we might get some tips on top 5 things that we've come across that is a problem. And there'll be simple ones like battery, pair to the wrong device, interference, what else? We'll come up with some. I'm sure we could document those. But on the second thing is, has a problem been fixed with firmware? And one I'll throw out there this week, again, we still have to do the show notes. What I've been finding with my Garmin devices, and here's an interesting one. They'll do the firmware updates on the Garmin, on the Edge, and on the Forerunner. The firmware updates come down. So, was it the 520 had 13.00, 820's up to 11.2. So they're the software, or the firmware upgrades for effectively the operating system. But whenever I plug in the watch or the other head units via USB with Garmin Express and then sync them, I get the GPS chipset updates. Now, I've seen GPS chipset updates happen every now and then on the watch. They're very rare. They do. So there's multiple firmwares. Oh, it's race lap on now. I'm just going to chill this lap. Is it last 2 laps race? Okay. So here's a tip for anyone. I really want some feedback on this because I'll tell you why in a minute. What happens for me is the firmware's come down over Garmin Express or the Garmin Connect app on here. The firmware's come down, or Lama spotted 161st now. All those firmwares come down over Wi-Fi, and next reboot, do you want to install the latest firmware? Yes, hit go, no worries, cool. But it only appears those GPS chipset updates, in my experience, come down faster over the Garmin Express update. So the thing to do will be to download Garmin Express on your PC or Mac, plug your Garmin device in. You may have to log into Garmin Connect with your credentials and log in and register the device if it hasn't been registered, which is a good thing. And then hit sync. So if your firmware hasn't been updated, we'll update the firmware. But if the GPS chipset hasn't been updated either, that will also get the update that way. And then once that's done, unplug, turn your Garmin device off, turn it back on. This is not a hack, this is not installing beta firmware, this is all legit user support that they tell you to do. Anyway, let me know if when you start it up, if it says GPS chipset updating, only after you plug in the USB one. The reason I'm asking everyone else to do that, I've done it and that's what happened. Watch was on latest firmware, plugged it in, did a sync. It appeared nothing synced, but it just did its thing. Rebooted the watch, GPS chipset update. Now, GPS chipset updates, if Ray's still here, he probably has a lot more info than I do on this one, but they'll do things like, they'll have more details about satellites, which ones to sync to, and in Asia and Australia there was an update to the QZSS satellites. So last year there was a chipset update for Garmin devices that would really help out in Australia and throughout Asia. That's important. And the reason I'm getting everyone else to do that, because Garmin couldn't confirm or deny that's the way it happened. The official line from Garmin support was that all updates get pushed over the air, and including the GPS chipset updates, they get pushed over the air, that's how it's done. No more detail. And because all of my devices are already updated, we'll try and catch up to the bacon here. So my whole Garmin family's been updated with me checking to see if it was the case. I can't go back. Let me know. Worst case scenario, you won't get any updates pushed. Best case scenario, you'll have new updates. There's also time zone file updates, there's map updates. My 1030 had a big Australian update. This is New York, the course I'm on now. Can I get to the Pac-Man? Not easily. Those updates do come out of thin air. It was a strange one. But I searched the internet for GPS chipset firmware updates, or couldn't find it. Garmin lists them on the website. There's the M5, multiple versions of the M5, what they call the M5. Garmin support couldn't give me any listing of which chipsets were in which devices either. They said that's, well, they didn't give me the info. They said that maybe because it's proprietary info. I'm not going out there to create a Lama to compete with Garmin. I just wanted to keep track of updates, but anyway, we'll do it ourselves. But if anyone can do that, plug it in, Garmin Express, full sync, reboot the device, let me know if it updates the GPS chipset. And your maps. Do your maps while you're there. Steve asked about how they resolved the power issues with the Kicker Core. Good question. And yes, it appears so. Firmware 6 onwards is pretty good. I'm on 1010, which is fine for the sprints and the harder efforts. But the maximal sprints are still a little bit off and a little bit low, but I think that's to be expected. I won't make excuses for it. It's probably 70 watts off in a max sprint of 1100 to 1200 watts. So not too much. I'll do a video comparing what it used to be like to what it's like now. Chalk and cheese, really good now. For just riding along up the volcano, it was 325 versus 324 watts for 8 minutes against the Asiana, so no problems here. Ah, oh, Bacon's putting the hammer down. Whew. Alright, see if I can hang in this group. Bianchi, I'm not sure. I don't keep across a lot of other bikes, sorry. What do they come with? Ultegra Di2? Ultegra Di2? Let us know. I have the fan at the door rather than in front of me. Now, unfortunately, Von's cooking dinner, so the smell of food is just coming in. Ultegra Di2 or Ultegra Mechanical, mate. Either way, once they configure, they should be good. Like any group said, it's always about the tuning. Tim Searle reckon 5.6 on the pedals, jeez. Alright, I'll just hide in here. How many? Only a small group. I won't float too far back. Have I addressed the issues with the Kicker Core and the Kicker? Yeah, I believe so. And I mean, they've come out with a few statements on that, of what they've done to fix that, but also the amount of failures that we're seeing people report is a lot lower, so I assume they're all good. Oh, close the gap. Dangerous territory. Where's the downhill? Oh, I've lost the profile. It was there. I'm disrupting the Pac-Man by soft tapping the front. There we go, profile's back. Hill now. Oosh. Yeah, so for a mid-range trainer, the core still packs a punch. Llama hair. I don't want to know where you're going to get llama hair. 9% is coming. The profile will be, yeah, changing depending on which turn we're doing, yep. Alright, get ready, the bacon's going to wind up in a minute again, I'm sure. Cross-chaining like I shouldn't be. Here goes the bacon, oh, damn it. Alright, Pac-Man in effect, group up above. We got him. Good job. Watch this, bacon will come straight through like a sausage through bread at Bunnings when you don't grab it. Straight through, onto the ground. Come on, bacon. Like a greasy snag. Where are you? He's typing. No, this is about keeping the grip together for maximum blob speed. Difference between the Asioma and the Vector 3s. Initial trouble with Vector 3s are sorted with a replaced set. They are different cleats, just a little. Ones look Clio compatible, and ones look Clio compatible. They're both the same, but they're not. I keep looking up the differences between the two. I might just show the difference in a video one day. But you can't use the Vector 3 cleats on the Asiomas. They're just a little bit different. Not safely. But the Asiomas P1s and P2s are all the same. I think they're the ex-pedo cleats. But I've ridden the Asiomas with the black cleats, zero float, no probs. I ride Shimano blues and have switched to these zeros, no probs. Everyone's different though. Okay, downhill coming up. Or not. Yug uses the real ones on both, okay. I didn't have any real ones. I've only got the Vector ones, which don't work too well on the Asiomas, and the Asioma ones, which don't work too well on the Vectors. There we go. Lewis loves the Asiomas. So when companies make good products, they make good products. Michael's asking about a Shimano compatible, a Shimano cleat base power meter. That's what everyone hopes for. Just tucking away in this little bunch here. Bacon's up the front. Possibly licensing with the Shimano cleats though. Could be issues with the width of the cleat in the power measurement. We don't know. One for the engineers. Where's the downhill to the line? Can't be far off. Hopefully the tunes are still tapping away in the background, are they? I'll have a look. Looks like it. Heart rate tells the story. Whew. Yeah, Pac-Man really got small. It's that rolling terrain. Bacon giving it the beans. Last bump, is it? No, there's one more. Whew. Cooked bacon. There he is. One small rice to go. That heart rate's having fun, Jesus. Still going up. Where's this finish line? There it is. You go, guys, you go. Wow. That was solid at the end. Let's have a look at some of these results. Who is where? Next Scolari, 253. 128 average. Who's C code? 329 with a 119 beat average. That falls into the crocodile category. Where does Scolari come? 2 seconds up. Good stuff. Who else do we have? Oh man, I was a bit hunched up then. I went into outdoor mode, I think, trying to get air. Is that Vicky Ritlaw? That'd have to be first female over the line there, I'm pretty sure. In 12th place, that's great. Really good riding. Click, click, click. Oh, my head's gonna fall off after that. Sorry, I'm not missing people on purpose. Unless I am. Boom, boom. Well, we get top 50. So 47. The people without thumbs, I've either thumbed up already or they've probably left. Alright, happy days. Crocodile. Alligator. Do alligators have low heart rates too? I know crocs do. Boom, boom. How is that dude in a different top? Oh, he's got a different top. He's not in the hump day right after it quits. Cool. There we go. Rock and roll under the hour. What is this? What is so male? I came in male. And of the people that I follow. Ah, okay, the people that I follow. Okay. So if you're racing mates in a group, you can sort of have a race within a race there. How about that? I didn't know that was a feature. I should read the manual. Okay, cool. Now we're back to New York. Alright, I'll just spin for a few more minutes here while I cool down. Any questions? Fire away. I'll roll them up on screen there. What's today? Wednesday. Yeah, a bit thin on videos this week. I've got about 30 or 40 in the list to do. It's just finding time to get them done. Maybe some shorter ones. There's a few more firmware updates. There's one on the Kicker core and a few other things. Tax Neo 2 or Kicker. James, it's entirely your call. Test ride if you can. Ride a friends and go from there. They are two different units. They ride a little differently. But many a flame war has started with people trying to answer that one. So I use both. So Neo for erg mode power testing, and then the Kicker for racing and riding, and the Lama for training. Dumb trainer. The Zwift manual. Brett Dyson missed out on a brand new Kicker, $250 off. They had 3 in stock. Oh, whereabouts are you, Brett? What city? Apple Beast YouTube. Is that because you like apples as in an apple, or are you into Apple devices? Let us know, Apple Beast. Oh, up in Darwin. Matt King at Blue Cycles. Do you frequent Blue Cycles? You've got to know Matt King if you're up in Darwin. Everyone knows Matt King. If not, go see him. Tell him I sent you. And he'd look up, and I said that he'd look after you. Because he will, regardless. Can I sum up the difference between the Kicker and Neo for racing? Specifically Neo, why does the Neo get a bad rep for racing? Look up virtual wheel slip for the Neo. It's not everybody has it, but you can trick the flywheel in certain circumstances. Am I? I'm a bit blurry after that hard effort. You can't trick a flywheel. You can't spin it out. It's always there, slogging away. So it's sort of ride the wave a little bit more naturally. The Neo can be a little more digital, given its virtual flywheel, and you can spin it out. If you look at my review of the Neo, my long-term review of the Neo, if you just type in GPLama Neo review, GPLama Neo on YouTube here, probably 8 minutes in, 9 minutes in maybe, I explain that and how it happens. It's not a showstopper for everyone, but it's there. People also find the Kicker is a little better at threshold, because the Neo It sort of holds a bit momentum. It doesn't give you free power. There's no such thing as free power, unless your trainer is stuffed. But if you've got a flywheel kicking over, it gives you a more natural pedal stroke. Again, depends on the gear you choose, and this becomes a risky pathway of arguments about who owns what, but I'll steer clear of that section. It's just my experience on them. I can still race on the Neo. It's just a few little things that are just a little bit different. Blue Cycles have mad public sales all the time. Go in there and tell Matt that I sent you. He'll give you a every day of the year sale, I'm sure. He's a good guy. Under 23 Australian time trial champ in 2000 and... Oh, I'd have to go 8, 9, 10? I think. I have to look at the records. How does cadence vary between a TT bike and a normal road bike? Ask Lee Pearson's. It all comes down to the training, I guess, and your bike position. Depends. You need to match your cadence for the racing you'll be doing or for the events you want to do well in. You can't jump on a trainer from now. I'm doing 68 RPM. But if I wanted to go outside and race at... I wouldn't race at 63 RPM, 68 RPM. So cadence drills, just make sure you're in the right zones all the time. If you can make indoor riding as close as possible to outdoor, the better you'll be. You don't want to become an indoor grinding monster. Go out and get dropped from bunch rides because it's just too fast. Or the pedal, you're pedaling differently. A good coach will pick up on that. And a good coach will look at your indoor sessions versus outdoor sessions. And if they're too different, you need to bring those into alignment. Speaking of bringing things into alignment, my Di2 cables need restructuring. James is looking at the Wahoo because of the ecosystem. Yeah, that's a good call. They cover it all. And you've got one support ticket, or one support help desk, I guess. You can have many different companies all at once. If you need support, you're going to have to open tickets with multiple people. If you're with Wahoo, just same place. If you buy it from the same spot as well, that same shop can look after you. Always handy. Alright, we'll go through the 45 Ks that I'll get today done. But thanks for tuning in. Always appreciate the comments. Makes the time go a lot faster for me when people are heckling or asking questions. Oh, that's one thing you don't get indoors is time to stretch. You just got to keep pushing the pedals. At least outdoors, when you've got a long descent, you can sort of get up and stretch the back and the legs. It's just a smash fest. I could stop at one of those ice cream stands though. Okay. SEO versus PowerTap P1 Go. What do you want to know? I can answer specifics. Will Strava turn by turn be added to the bolts? No. Not on the head units themselves, no. Because it doesn't have the maps. Why it works on the Roam is because the Roam is an entirely different beast. It has the full mapping on there. So the bolt and the element have lines and pitches. Think of it just as they're your streets. And when it grabs the, when you export the Strava route, it can put it over top, That's all. It doesn't know what the street names are or the street. It doesn't know what turns. Doesn't know what's around. It's just a picture on a picture, effectively. The Roam has that as well, but it has Smith Street, Anderson Street, roundabout, type of road, etc. So when it pulls down, so the Roam sits over here with a lot more intelligence, and it's that intelligence on the head unit that when you extract a Strava route file, put it over top of those roads, and it knows what road it's on and can tell you which road to turn at. So that's it in a nutshell of why the Roam can do that and why the Bolt won't be able to. But here's an idea that they probably won't implement because it'll sort of kill the Roam a little bit. If you were to extract the Strava route onto the companion app, and then that use the smarts of your phone, which is super smart, to then grab that map, put the street names and put everything on there and the cues for turn by turn, and then export, then you've got a solution for that. That becomes a two-stage process though, so your head unit, like the Bolt or the Element, wouldn't be able to pull down straight off Strava. It has to go through a third party, which is your phone. That'd be a way to do it technically, but that then doesn't give anybody a good reason to go to the Roam unless they want on the fly, turn by turn, on the fly reroute, on the fly renavigation on the unit. So it comes down to the smarts on the unit. Pretty much like an old Nokia phone. Think of an old Nokia phone. Made phone calls, pretty useless for everything else. So it did the job versus an iPhone, which has Waze and Google Maps and Apple Maps. It has all the intelligence on it. But there's a lot of things with technology that could be done, but just isn't through to popularity, time, cost, business decisions. Like for example, Di2 integration with Zwift. I could have on the screen here which gear I'm in because I've got Di2. It talks ANT+. My machine talks ANT+. It should be able to talk to my Di2 and show what gear I'm in on the screen, and even put me in the same gear on that bike that I'm on here. That'd be cool. And then something like pedaling dynamics. Pedaling dynamics knows when you're out of the saddle based on the pedal phase. So right now, I'm not out of the saddle, but my little dude is. If Zwift was reading my pedaling dynamics information, it'd know that I'm not out of the saddle. So that's tech that we have today. It's already there. They just haven't sort of lined it all up. It's a bit obscure, I guess, but it'll be one of those things where if implemented, there's me going to 46 k's, yeah, good one. If implemented, people would be like, oh yeah, of course my little guy gets out of the saddle, or girl gets out of the saddle when I'm out of the saddle. That's just how it works. The tech is there. I'll show that on the cycling dynamics video that I've got coming up. The information about pedal phase, how that works, peak pedal phase, how it knows when you're out of the saddle. It's pretty nifty. Even left-right balance would be handy, just to know you're not totally like wonking off to the side. When it's within a few percent, that's as good as you're going to get. But if it's 60 to 40, you know you got to get yourself back in line. Even just for the training zones. Like, so if you're, just say workout mode, you then got the option to add all those extra metrics. Even if they're useless, that's okay. At the moment, we don't even know if they're useless because we've got to put them on our head units. It's on the screen. There we go, bang. Lap data, left-right balance, power balance, which is just left-right balance anyway, but already computed for us. Kilojoules, live TSS. Yeah, see, live TSS would be handy. If you just want to go for a ride and say, I want to do 100 TSS, that's what's going to get my CTL up or where I need to be for the day. A lot of the time, sometimes you don't want structure, you just want to get it done. You want to burn off that Mars bar you ate, or the extra Nutella sandwich. So having kilojoules and live TSS, that'll kind of help. It's one of those things where we can't hate on the idea because it doesn't have to be there. We can switch it on and off. A lot of people over on Reddit are saying, I don't want steering on Zwift at all. I'd ruin the experience, but you don't have to have it on. Not having it is worse than having it or having a choice. Is that Bacon? That's Bacon. What's going on, Bacon? Ride leader. Just chilling. There he is, Tim Searle. Over 100,000 Ks virtually indoors. Looking as fresh as kilometre. I won't say kilometre 1. He's looking a bit worn now in that avatar. Hang on, let's see if we can... See if we can spy on the Bacon, see how many Ks he's done. Does anybody want to guess? It's probably, I'd say 120,000. 122, there we go. And even if you say Ks indoors aren't real, hours are real. Those hours are real. 139 days of moving time. Boom. Oh, work capacity, sorry, what? Yep, get it. So Bacon has been on his Bacon pedaling for 139 days non-stop with Zwift. And he's only a level 4 runner. Well, if you ride that much, you don't have time to run. Ah, good stuff. Oh, we can whack out some ride-ons to everyone. Ah, we could swept up a few more there. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. Is it downhill? Is it downhill to 48 Ks? Get these extra 2. Oh, stretching is good. But so is dinner, so 100 metres on one. Thanks everyone for dropping by. As I said before, a little bit longer than normal. This one was an hour 27. Wow. That was with the warm-up. But I enjoy the chats. Nothing scripted for these. I don't have an agenda or anything to talk about. I could even do a Lama live or a digital Peloton news during these, no problems. But it's handy just to chat about whatever pops up on the screen. What's on everyone else's mind. Alrighty, speaking of, left-right balance would be useful for someone like me with knee injury. There we go, yeah, so rehab. Yep. I think it'll be worthwhile because it's there. The information is there, we just need to use it. You can see it hiding it away, does nothing. Alright, I'm going to call it quits there. I could ride all night. I could talk all night. So, thanks again, everyone. We shall see you soon. I'll get my butt into gear and get some more tech videos out this week. That should be fun. Alright, see you soon.